The following presentation is made possible by the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club and sponsored in part by PG Telco. And welcome to a night of Prairie Grove Tiger football. On the behalf of the administration, Superintendent Alan Williams, Assistant Superintendent Vol Woods, Athletic Director Coach Mike Green, Principal Ron Bond, Assistant Principal Joey Sorters, and Head Coach Danny Absher, his staff, and the entire Prairie Grove Tiger football team, we want to thank you for joining us for tonight's game. The broadcast of tonight's game is made possible through PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Ozark Delight, America's #1 fundraising lollipop. Lewis Automotive, serving all of Northwest Arkansas since 1947. The Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. Sterling Drug, serving Prairie Grove since 1918. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with a hometown touch. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, shakes, malts, and more, just south of the Northwest Arkansas Mall. J&B Auto, Prairie Grove's bumper-to-bumper auto parts store. And Frederick's One Stop, the one stop for all your needs when you're on the go. Prairie Grove football is also brought to you in part by the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Showing your Tiger pride is just a membership away. And now your crew for tonight's game, Lynn Gregson, Zach Arns, and Steve Halbert. It's football time in Prairie Grove.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's game. We are coming live to you tonight from Gentry, Prairie Grove, or Gentry, the Pioneers, at their stadium here tonight. And Zach, the weather is football weather.
It's 54 degrees. It's clear skies. We should have a nice night, nice cool night. And I got an alert on my cell phone. Freeze warning. It's football time, and we're getting into November football, aren't we?
Well, tonight's game is interesting. As we come into tonight's game, Prairie Grove has, I believe, now clinched.
They are 100% in the playoffs. It's just a matter of, are we going to be at home? Or are we going to Pocahontas?
A lot of different places we go. You know, we can talk. We'll get into some of the scenarios here in a minute. But winning the last two games guarantees a home game for sure.
Yeah, I think if you win tonight, you win next week against Gravette. The playoff picture crystallizes itself, at least for Prairie Grove, as we talked about earlier today in a phone call, and you ran all the scenarios by me. It is a mess in the 1-4A. And tonight's going to be kind of a separation night. We're going to find out where, there's a big game. Shiloh's playing Ozark tonight. Somebody's going to get their second loss, and, who knows from there. Yeah,
and it's hard because for Prairie Grove and the #1 seed, gosh, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. You kind of root for Shiloh, which I
don't even think that's legal, but we can get into that later on.
And then the Gentry guys are giving us a hard time behind there. But on the other hand, if Prairie Grove takes care of business, that's what needs to happen as far as getting the playoffs.
Win tonight, win next week. Worst you get, as we've talked about before, is a share of the conference title, and there's nothing bad about that.
No, absolutely not. Well, let's talk a little bit about our opponent tonight, Gentry.
Got their first win last week. That's momentum. It's senior night. Like as we saw last week, it's senior night at Prairie Grove. A lot of emotion in the stands. You get your first win last week. A lot of momentum. If Prairie Grove comes out and plays the way they have the last 2 weeks in the first half, we can have a problem here. This is not a bad football team. They can move the ball. They can throw it around a little bit. And, for Prairie Grove, it's the same thing we've talked about. Now, I do want to apologize. The last couple of weeks have been beating the drum for the offense. Let's talk about the defense for Prairie Grove. Unbelievable here the last couple of weeks. They're averaging 11 points per game during conference play. And you figure some of the teams that Prairie Grove's played, that's staggering.
Oh, absolutely.
11 points a game. The offense is putting up about 27 points, and I think John Halbert's accounted for at least 21 of those. It's going to be it's going to be an interesting night. Prairie Grove's got to get it in gear. You got to start getting ready for the playoffs. You're in. You just don't know who your opponent is, where you're going to play. And tonight's a night, as we talked about last week, where you need to get that momentum back. You need to get that mental sharpness back, that edge back, because it's playoff time.
Absolutely. And, another thing that was a key last week was the kicking game. Landon Allen was accounted for 7 of the Prairie Grove 13 points.
And we've said all year long, he's a weapon that needs to be used, and I think you're going to start to see him get a little bit more action maybe tonight, next week. Next week's a huge game at Gravette. If you win here tonight, you go into Gravette next week with a chance to claim the conference crown. all weapons. It's like tonight's baseball game. All hands on deck. You need to step up tonight and play well.
Speaking of tonight's game, we have the comments page on pgtigersonline.com. I know some of the people who watch us go directly to PG Telco. You can go to pgtigersonline.com, get to the game as well. But we have our comment page on pgtigersonline.com.
And judging from the sparse gathering on the other side, there's a lot of you watching tonight, and we know who you are.
And you know what? Whenever you do comment, you could give us updates on the World Series. Wouldn't be a bad thing either. Some of the guys in the press box from Gentry are wanting to know that as well.
And Lynn would like to know an update on the TCU-BYU game, if he could work that in, too.
So thanks a lot for that. Well, we're going to come back to you after this, talk a little bit more about Prairie Grove and some of the playoff scenarios. Thank you for watching Prairie Grove football.
PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. The Bank of Fayetteville, it's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer: checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service. The Bank of Fayetteville, with offices in Fayetteville, West Fork, Farmington, and Prairie Grove. Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite flavors, we're here to help. Click our website, ozarkdelight.com, or call us toll-free at 1-800-334-8991.
Well, Zach, as we come back, one of the things you and I talked a lot on the phone this week about some of the stats of Prairie Grove. You want to share some of what we discussed this week?
It's been pretty interesting when you look at some of the numbers, non-conference versus conference, and frankly, we only care about the in-conference numbers. And we've talked about Weston Bartholomew. We've talked about the 20 for 20. Weston needs to touch the ball 20 times, whether it's in the return game, the receiving game, or in the rushing game. But I'll tell you who's sneaking up as a total offense leader here is Mr. Schrock. The Moose has suddenly exploded, and he's actually the leading rusher during conference play. Couple of things that kind of jump out at you a little bit, and you're going to smile when I say this, but we've talked all year long about third down conversions. Prairie Grove for the season right around 33%, 31% during conference play, but the number that kind of jumps out at you is fourth down conversions. During the season, they're now at 56.5% on fourth down. Who'd have thunk it? What do you do with it? It's a number that kind of jumps out at you, and we've talked about the defense here in conference play, the +6 in the turnover ratio. Penalties are down during the conference play. You put those two together, that's why you're sitting with just one loss in the conference and a chance to win the conference championship.
Another thing we talked about a lot is how Prairie Grove has tends to have a fast start and a fast finish. The middle.
For those who like numbers, check this out. First quarter in conference play this year, Prairie Grove's outscored their opponents 28-7. In the fourth quarter, they've outscored their opponents 31-7. It's the middle two quarters where things have kind of gotten a little dicey. The second quarter, they've only outscored their opponents by 6 points, 26-20. And in the third quarter, they've kind of put some distance. They've come out at halftime, made their adjustments, and done pretty well. They've outscored their opponents by 21 points in the third quarter. Now, we saw and a lot of that 35 of that 42 points came in one game.
Right.
That came against Berryville. So,
right.
You can't have that kind of, sluggishness. They've been really sluggish since Daniel Schrock ripped off the 36-yard touchdown against Shiloh, and everybody took that collective exhale. It's time to inhale again and get back to work.
Yeah, and you think about the adjustments in the third quarter. Those 21 points was against Farmington.
That's right. Yes, it was. Outside of that, they haven't been scored on. I mean, the numbers don't make a whole lot of sense here, but if you look at them cumulatively, you've got a 5-2 football team, or now a 6-2 football team, looking to go to 7-2 with a shot at the conference crown.
Well, I think the thing that you pointed out earlier is they can't overlook Gentry tonight because we know how big the game is. Next week we grab it if we were to get the win tonight. And so there's that tendency to look ahead. This team is good enough. I mean, they beat Berryville handily last week. You know, we struggled with Berryville.
Yes,
so it's one of those things where a couple turnovers or something in the Berryville game, that could have been an interesting game for us. And so you got to be careful tonight.
If Prairie Grove has a weakness, it's been in their pass defense. I don't have the numbers right in front of me. I don't know how everyone else is doing, but I'm just going to venture a guess. When you're giving up 32 yards a game rushing, you're probably going to lead the conference. Where the back end of that is the pass defense for Prairie Grove, and that hasn't been up to snuff, but a lot of that has been because teams have been behind and been throwing the ball a little bit more. So Gentry can come out, they can throw the ball, they run the spread, they're going to move it around, they're going to run it a little bit, they're going to throw it a little bit, and hopefully Prairie Grove at least meets their intensity because, frankly, they're a better football team. You want to meet the intensity and then go forward and give the ball to number 20 and number 30 and let them do their work.
Yeah, and this is a game also that to let Cooper get some reps in throwing the ball. You want to have that open. Gentry's defense, and I was talking to one of the players this week, and he said their defense is made to stop the Prairie Grove offense. I mean, it's the run that we do. So we may see the ball thrown around a little bit tonight by Cooper.
Yeah, and I think they should. I think Cooper's completing passes right at about 56%. His touchdown to interception ratio is about 2-to-1, which is where you want it. And he's done a nice job. I think his efficiency in one of those crazy formulas is about 133, which is pretty good for a quarterback that runs primarily a running offense. I guess what I'd caution people to, or at least the offensive coordinator a little bit, do what you do. Run the football, get it to 20, get it to 30, come back with some wingback reverses, and get a lead, then you can work on things.
One of the things about this series, too, that our seniors have never beaten Gentry.
There's an odd stat.
Well, and this is interesting because out of the last 15 years, Prairie Grove won 11 out of 12. They have lost the last 3 to Gentry. And one of those years, we were already clinched a playoff, and I think they rest some players with no excuse that Gentry has won 3 in a row. These seniors have not tasted what it's like to beat the Gentry Pioneers. So hopefully tonight they'll come in here with that little chip on their shoulder and say, you know what, we don't want to be not able to beat them.
They looked a little bit more focused during pregame warm-ups. Cooper was on target. I was watching him during this pregame, and I don't think a ball hit the ground, so that's always a good sign. And, as you said, the Gentry offense or defense is built to stop the Prairie Grove offense. A lot of defenses are built to stop it. It's whether or not you can. And Shiloh thought they were going to stop it. Just ask the broadcasters. But I think for Prairie Grove, it's handle your business, and you should be able to get out of here with a win. But like we've seen the last 2 weeks, if you let somebody hang around, you can make this a lot more interesting than it really needs to be.
Well, we're going to take another break here. We just got a few minutes for game time. And, again, we want to remind you that coming up at the end of the game, we'll have the Steak and Shake player of the game like we have every week. You can see all the Steak and Shake players of the game throughout the year. If you go to pgtigersonline.com, we have all of them listed there. Also, on pgtigersonline.com, don't forget to let us know where you're watching from tonight. Thank you again for watching Prairie Grove football.
I want you to try and imagine all the progress that's been made in medicine since 1918. Now try and imagine the progress that's been made in the insurance business as well. Needless to say, the changes have been massive, but Sterling Drug in Prairie Grove has kept up with it all. And Gary Davis and his staff are ready to provide you with the latest and most effective drugs, and they're going to work with the insurance companies as well. While there have been massive changes in medicine and insurance, one thing that has not changed is the quality professional care you'll receive from Sterling Drug. Sterling Drug, keeping you healthy since 1918. Every lady remembers that first rose, that first dozen roses, the corsage from the prom, and those memories are made even sweeter from Flowers & Friends in Prairie Grove. Flowers & Friends specializes in fresh and silk flower arrangements for all occasions, from weddings, parties to proms and more, even Decoration Day. Flowers & Friends can create a lasting memory. Flowers & Friends, friendly service and satisfaction is guaranteed. 846-2137. Flowers & Friends, flowers, gift, and more with a hometown touch in downtown Prairie Grove. Where in Prairie Grove can you go to get your gas, grab a tank of propane, a bag of ice, your favorite snack, and a soda drink, have your breakfast or lunch prepared fresh, made to order, wash that down with your favorite drink, and follow that with a hand-dipped ice cream? There's only one place that I know of that comes close to all of that in Prairie Grove. Locally owned and operated, it has to be Frederick's One Stop. And did I mention the coffee breaks in the afternoon where all the world's problems are solved? Only at Frederick's One Stop. Proud to be sponsors of Prairie Grove Tiger Athletics. How do you tell someone that they're special?
Flowers & Friends.
How do you tell someone that they're loved?
Flowers & Friends.
How do you tell someone happy anniversary?
Flowers and friends.
And how do you express your deepest sympathy?
Flowers and friends.
In Prairie Grove, when your message needs to be expressed with flowers, be it fresh-cut flowers or one-of-a-kind silk arrangement, think Flowers and Friends or drive by 114 East Buchanan, or you can call them at 846-2137. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch.
Well, we come back to you, and looks like the senior night here for the Gentry Pioneers, and they've got all their seniors as captains. We haven't seen the Prairie Grove captains come out yet. Let's talk a little bit about the crazy playoff scenarios in the 4A1 conference.
NASA can't figure out how this is going to end up, and it is an absolute mess at this point. And now we've got three teams that have kind of separated themselves with one loss, Prairie Grove being one of them, Shiloh being the other, and the third being Ozark. Yeah, now Ozark's the one we need to lose. We need them to drop a game somewhere along the line here. And then you've got that pack with Gravette and Farmington right behind them, and everybody's going to play each other here in the next 2 weeks. So for Prairie Grove, it's simple. Win, and you're in. You keep winning, you're going to have a home game. For everyone else, who knows? And you were running a scenario by me earlier today that even if Prairie Grove were to win the last two games, they could still wind up as the 4 seed, and we could be heading down to the Delta.
Well, actually, that was if we lost to Gravette.
That's right.
If we lost to, let me go through a few scenarios for those that are watching.
There'll be a quiz later.
Yeah. Prairie Grove wins their last two games, they're in. They'll be a 1 seed or 2 seed. If the other team with a 1 loss is Ozark, they would be 2 seed. Ozark would be 1 seed. If Prairie Grove wins the last two games, Shiloh has 1 seed or 1 loss in Prairie Grove. Prairie Grove gets the 1 seed. Shiloh with the 2nd seed. Should Prairie Grove drop their last two games, they could fall as far down as the 5 seed. So there's an outside shot of that. Won't go through the scenarios of that. Prairie Grove could win tonight, lose next week, and end up as the 4 seed should Gentry end up with 2 losses, Ozark with 2 losses, and Shiloh with 1. So there's so many different scenarios, and where we're going to play next, we really don't know. Now tonight may clear it up a little bit.
It should. You've got an elimination game essentially between Ozark and Shiloh. As we talked about earlier, we have to root for Shiloh. We'll do the best we can, but
maybe we'll just share it with Ozark.
I think that's kind of like rooting for the Taliban, isn't it?
Well, they, Shiloh has done so well in our conference for a long time, and as teams this year, we're competing with them a little bit. It makes it for a lot of good competition, and we're anxious to be able to someone else to have the conference title.
Yeah, the game went so fast last week. We had a chance to listen to the end of the Shiloh game against Gravette. Good game apparently, and Gravette apparently turned the ball over a couple of times inside the 5-yard line, and they're convinced they're going to win the conference championship. I've got news for you. Prairie Grove's a better football team.
Well, we hope tonight that we'll be a better football team and be able to get that much step closer to the conference title. The other thing I think tonight is, these Gentry seniors out on the flip side, they don't want to say, hey, we never lost to Prairie Grove, so that could be an interesting side for them as well.
And we talked about the emotions of it can work for you, it can work against you. Last week it worked against Prairie Grove, and they were kind of lethargic for 3 quarters before everything just sort of exploded. And I don't think Prairie Grove can depend on that sort of second-half explosion tonight or next week or the week after that. They can't depend on that just all of a sudden show up. They've got to get down to business from the first snap of the game, play 60 minutes, and let's get on with it.
Well, as the 2001 Space Odyssey's playing in the background, I guess, as Gentry gets ready to come out, Prairie Grove looks like they're getting ready to come out as well. We're going to take one more break, and then we'll join you for the kickoff.
Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, you do the math. They'll soon be entering their 65th year of service. 65 years. You don't go that far in any one business without treating people good, and I mean real good. As a matter of fact, Ford awarded Lewis Ford their coveted President's Award, one of the top dealerships in the nation. Run by hometown folks, Lewis Automotive is a proud sponsor of Prairie Grove Tiger football. PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
Well, the team's getting ready to take the field, and looks like Prairie Grove will be kicking off tonight. Landon Allen will prepare to kick. Deep for the Pioneers, number 28. That is number 28, Jonathan Zong. Again, if you're watching tonight, if you'll let us know where you're watching from on the PGTigersOnline.com, the comment page, we'd appreciate it. Let us know how the broadcast is coming across.
This is our first night with new technology, so please give us a little bit of feedback.
If we're broadcasting and you see some of the buffering and stuff, we need to know that is something that's important to us, as we are using an air card tonight for the internet connection. So let us know if things are coming through okay. Landon Allen preparing to kick, and there it goes. Going to go that. He touched that, so he's going to pick it up at about the 2-yard line. And met there first by Nick Sugg, also helping out on the tackle, number 61, Jackson Diebold. So the kick by, you talk about Landon Allen being a weapon offensively. That's a defensive weapon that he is too with that leg, because he gets the good kickoff, and they're going to start inside their own 15-yard line at the 14. So
hit them deep, and we talked about the defense in the pregame. This is their territory. Gentry will open 5 wide with Dylan Oaks at quarterback. Prairie Grove looks like they're going to go man-to-man across the way. Incomplete, looking for number 22, and that would be Jarrett Cousins.
Cousins, they were trying to get that right away, Zach, on the opening play, trying to catch Prairie Grove there. And
yeah, Prairie Grove went to zero coverage. They went man-to-man straight across the field, and that's just not something that they're accustomed to doing. Interesting to see how many times Gentry goes to that sort of 5 wide and lets the front 4 from Prairie Grove see how much pressure they can get.
They're going into that. There's a blitz by Call, and he's getting in there quick.
There we go.
Call puts the pressure on, and then number 60, Drew Sugg, with the tackle. So Dylan Ox he may have gotten close back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a yard, and so it's going to be 3rd down and 11 for the Pioneers.
This is a good start for the Prairie Grove defense.
Again, if you're watching, go to PGTigersOnline.com. Go to the comment page. Really interested on how the broadcast is coming through tonight, as we are using a little bit different technology than we typically use.
Going to go bunch formation to the top of this field.
Again, they're all man out there, and looks like they're going to get some pressure on Ox just off the fingertips.
Well, you can't ask for a better start for Prairie Grove.
And that's the way you want to start. We talked about Prairie Grove starting fast in the first quarter. Nice defensive stop.
Yep.
Held
pressure.
them to a negative yard, and so it looks like Prairie Grove should get the ball in excellent field position.
Yeah, it looks like
back deep is Halbert. And with the 3 wide to the right, Prairie Grove's going to, we typically have 2 back deep, and it's usually Bartholomew and Halbert. This time Halbert's alone. And he kicks it away from Halbert. Halbert's going to it's going to drop, and now Halbert does field it around the 40-yard line. Doesn't have any blockers there. He's going to be tackled around the 37-yard line. So the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 37. Nice punt there by Gentry. I mean, he got the bounce and then it was pretty remarkable for Halbert to be able to field it.
It was a good kick. Flips the field a little bit for Gentry, and now it's time for Prairie Grove to get to work.
Well, Troy is
50-yard punt.
Listening to us tonight. He said the camera's running a little slow, audio's a little choppy. We'll do our best here. Again, this is mostly the internet we have tonight is coming through a wireless or an air card tonight. So bear with us. We'll give you the best play-by-play we can. There's Bartholomew. Bartholomew over the 40 to about the 43-yard line. He's going to pick up about 6 yards. He hit the hole hard. Cousins on the tackle there, Zach. And
good to see Prairie Grove
actually, he got more than 6. He got more about 7 yards.
It's good to see Prairie Grove open with a run. None of that 5 wide. Give it to 20 and let him do his thing. At least he's not wearing those weird jerseys we saw last week.
Yeah, we got a little lost with that, but nice tribute to his father last week. Second down, and there's the Moose, Daniel Schrock. He's going to go for the first down. He's up close to the 50-yard line.
And that'll be a first down.
Hudson and Coy on the tackle there for the Pioneers, but Prairie Grove picks up their first down, and a lot of times we're loud. It seems real quiet in here tonight, Zach. I feel like I'm almost like whispering.
It feels like a library in here a little bit, but we'll do our. We've never been accused of being quiet.
There is Bartholomew on the carry. He's cuts up. He's going to get about a yard on the play. He's brought down by number 2, Nelson Watson. He gets into Pioneer territory at their 49-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Three runs out of the block. Bartholomew twice, Schrock once.
This looks more like the Prairie Grove that we saw early in the year, and I expect this to continue. I expect to see 30, then 20, then 30, then 20.
Second and 9 for the Tigers. There is Daniel Schrock right up the middle, and he's going to carry several Pioneers close to the first down mark. He's going to be cut maybe a yard too short. Watson on the tackle there for Pioneers, and it's going to be third. Well, it looks like he must have not got quite as far as I thought he did. He's going to be at the 43-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 3 for the Tigers. Now we have a wide open backfield.
Yeah, I like the quarterback draw here.
In motion is
sweep,
and that is
nice block by Halbert.
That is Colby Elkins. Elkins over the 40. He's inside the 40, down to about the 37-yard line of the Pioneers, and this is a nice drive here by Prairie Grove, all on the ground, and pick up their first down on 3rd down, so they're 1 for 1.
As the season goes on, we're seeing more and more elements of the spread. That's the jet sweep that we see in college football quite a bit, and Colby Elkins, we saw him last week run a little bit of the spread option, and these are things that you're letting other teams see as you get into the playoffs. Hey, you got to prepare for that. Got to be aware of that. It's just one more thing somebody's got to get ready for.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the Pioneer 37. In motion is Landon West. Now for the first pass tonight, Cooper Winters, and he looks, in and out of the hands of Jared Murphy coming across there. A little bit of pressure there that time from the Pioneers.
Yeah, he had Jared. He had his choice of actually about 2 or 3 receivers that were open. He picked Jared, and Jared's just got to come down with that one.
Yeah, that was catchable ball there, Zach.
Yep. First throw on 1st down. We've seen them come out throwing on 1st down the last couple of weeks.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the 37. There's Bartholomew. He's looking for a hole. He picks up something there, and he's going to be inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot at the 29, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 2 for the Tigers.
I'm just speculating here, but I'm wondering if Weston was just a little dinged the last couple of weeks, because he's got his explosion back, his shiftiness back this week. The last couple of weeks, he's just he hasn't shown that explosion that we saw in the first couple of games. I'm just wondering if maybe he had a little hammy or a sore ankle, or somebody was just a little bit dinged.
3rd down and let's call it a short 2 for the Tigers.
At 8 on the play clock.
And there is Cooper Winters on a keeper, and he slips, but he's going to pick up the first down. He's inside the 20, down to about the 18 or 19-yard line. Lost the ball right at the end of the play, but he was already down. That's Gentry player picked it up and started heading the other way. And
that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Ball goes on the ground, pick it up, and head the other way.
Nice keeper there by Cooper. Gets inside the 20. Ball's at about the 19-yard line. So last week Prairie Grove had the red zone blues.
You and I talked about that this week. The
Yep.
red zone numbers, really, if you throw out the Ozark game and you throw out last week, are really phenomenal. They were 18 out of 22 going into last week. After last week, they're 20 out of 27 in the red zone with 18 touchdowns.
There is Schrock. He's up the middle there. He's going to be inside the 15. Matter of fact, he's almost to the first down. He's down to about the 10-yard line. And Schrock, we talk about how he's been such a leading rusher since we began the conference play. And I think because so many people know about Bartholomew, it helps set up that for Schrock. And he's such a hard, powerful runner.
I know his family's watching tonight. And is there a baby Schrock in the pipeline? Because we need another one. Well, if there isn't, somebody get on that.
Oh, we may have something coming on the comment page now. Okay, second down and 1 for the Tigers. Looks like there was some movement there. Schrock's going to be close to the first down. I didn't see a flag there. There's Moose's aunt. Let's go watching the Moose since we maybe she'll let us know.
Yeah, we need a baby Schrock in the pipeline.
Let's go Moose. Congrats Moose on the Hootens watch list and Coach Absher. So they're on the Hootens watch list. First and 10 for the Tigers. Ball's inside the 10 now. In motion is Elkins, and he's going to get the ball. Colby Elkins around the left side, and he's going to be met there. First hit by number 17, Jordan Cousins.
He's been more involved in the offense the last couple of weeks. Getting the ball, getting him outside. It's always good to get dangerous players on the fringe and let them play in space.
Well, Jared Cousins and Jordan Cousins made the tackle. I wonder if they're cousins or brothers.
I'm going to go brothers. I'm going to go brothers on that one.
Well, you asked for the update on the football game tonight. With 14:15 to go in the first, TCU's already scored. All right, second down and goal for the Tigers. Ball. Here comes Elkins again in motion.
Good play.
This time it's a keeper by Cooper Winters. Give him 6. Touchdown, Prairie Grove.
Excellent play. You fake the jet sweep. You give it right. You let Cooper keep it, and it's the same thing as the read option. You're just reading the defensive end. If he crashes down, you give the ball to Colby. If he stays, you take off with it.
Well, the Tigers started that drive at their own 37-yard line, so a 63-yard drive for the Tigers, and they hit pay dirt first. It's 6-0. Now the extra point try will be attempted by Landon Allen.
And they look sharp here in the first drive.
Oh, they were very crisp. And
well, now you need to sustain it. We've seen lulls before, but now you get to sustain it.
Again, we talked about the fast start that Prairie Grove tends to get off to. And it's blocked. He's had a couple blocked this year, and I don't know if that's from the snap. It looks like Gentry went after it pretty quick, and they get the block. And with 5:19 to go here in the first quarter, it's Prairie Grove 6, Gentry 0.
There's been a Davis at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His experience, he's going to throw that in for free. Keeping you healthy since 1918. Sterling Drug, 125 East Buchanan in Prairie Grove. Proud sponsors of Prairie Grove Athletics.
We just got an update. If anybody's not watching, just got an update on the World Series game. Texas in the first inning, their first at bat. I have 2 runs, so it's 2-0 Texas. They have 2 outs. Now we get ready for the kick. Landon Allen
You know what I like about that drive? One pass. In a 12-play drive, it was one pass.
There's a kick going to dribble on down, and again, the ball's going to be fielded right around the 10-yard line. And wow, nice return. I didn't get the number there on the return, but a nice return up close to the 30-yard line. Looked like Creighton Ledbetter in there on the tackle. Also helping out on that tackle, number 52, Dalton Kurtzinger.
Well, for Prairie Grove, this is we've been here before with the lead. You know, now you need your defense, which has played very well during the conference play, as we talked about earlier. Step up, play well, get the ball back to the offense, and continue on with what you're doing.
Gentry again with the quarterback only in the backfield. Cameraman noticed it was a different quarterback in. I did not catch the number there. Our view's not the greatest here, Zach. Number 16, Dalton Falk on the tackle. Also, Landon West.
That was 26, Tanner Coy on the carry.
He may have picked up, if he got a half a yard, I'd be surprised. It's second down. We're going to call it second and 10 for the Pioneers. Four minutes, 33 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tigers lead 6-0. Here's a pass. I think that was planned to run all along. Tigers get good pressure in there, and it looks like the tackle's made by Landon West. Landon West and also Dalton Kurtzinger and Brandon Notier all in on the tackle. Loss of a couple yards, going to bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Pioneers. Tigers' defense is looking really good tonight.
They're getting
Zach.
good pressure with the front four, and Gentry's spreading them out a little bit. You hope they've had a couple of guys open, especially in the first drive. The crossing pattern on 3rd down was wide open. Ox just overthrew him.
Man, here comes Call. He's going to get quick pressure, and he's going to get to him. He's going to sack Ox, and he's going to be back at the 15-yard line.
What did Jacob break out this week?
Well, I didn't see a dance this time.
That's a shame.
But I'll tell you, there wasn't a hiding of that blitz. He was coming all along.
No, they've run that defensive stunt several times this year. They've always had really good success with it, and it's just Jacob coming up the middle. And frankly, I wouldn't put a dump truck in front of him if Jacob's running through there.
It's 4th down and very long for the Pioneers. They're going to punt. Back deep this time is Bartholomew and Halbert. They only split 2 over there to the left side, and he takes his time to punt. And that punt goes off the side of his foot. And there's Halbert. He's going to field it. Halbert went ahead. I think the Gentry player thought he wasn't going to touch it, and he just picks it up and goes with it. He gets inside the 20. He almost gets back to the line of scrimmage. That net punt of 2 yards, I believe. He's down about the 18-yard line. They snapped the ball from the 16, Zach.
You are 100% correct. That is you know what? John's a heads-up player. I mean, people are looking around for the football. Pick up the ball and run.
He fielded it on the run, too. I think that's part of the reason he was able to get a lot of momentum. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, starting in the red zone on this drive. Cooper Winters, he's looking to throw, and he's going. He's got a man open, and that is touch. Give him 6, and I believe that was
Dalton Falk.
Dalton Falk.
It was a good throw from Cooper. He let Dalton run the post pattern, let it clear open. Dalton split the safeties,
and he looked off too. Yep. He did look to. He looked over there. And I think it was Bartholomew out in the flat, and when you look off, it gives that one little half step there, and that's what happened. And now the Tigers have struck right after the punt, and it's 12-0 with 2:50 to go in the first quarter.
And they look a lot better than they did last week. That's for darn sure.
Tigers are going to line up and go for 2 this time, and in motion is West. Cooper Winters on a keeper. He's trying to get to the corner. He gets in there and makes the 2-point conversion, and the Tigers look fantastic on the first 2 drives and lead 14-0 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Tigers lead 14, Gentry 0.
Where in Prairie Grove can you go to get your gas, grab a tank of propane, a bag of ice, your favorite snack, and a soda drink, have your breakfast or lunch prepared fresh, made to order, wash that down with your favorite drink, and follow that with a hand-dipped ice cream? There's only one place that I know of that comes close to all of that in Prairie Grove. Locally owned and operated, it has to be Frederick's One Stop. And did I mention the coffee breaks in the afternoon where all the world's problems are solved? Only at Frederick's One Stop. Proud to be sponsors of Prairie Grove Tiger Athletics. Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, you do the math. They'll soon be entering their 65th year of service. 65 years. You don't go that far in any one business without treating people good, and I mean real good. As a matter of fact, Ford awarded Lewis Ford their coveted President's Award, one of the top dealerships in the nation. Run by hometown folks, Lewis Automotive is a proud sponsor of Prairie Grove Tiger football.
Okay, Landon Allen preparing to kick. His third kick already of the night, Zach. We kicked off to start the game.
Landon's legs are going to get tired. I'm getting tired watching him.
Again, another kind of dribble kick here. I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or not, but there's Phil. Oh! Number 21 for Colby Rankin. You know, he had a lot of room to run there, and he tripped. He slipped. And, you know, Cooper slipped a while ago. I wonder if the field's a little wet out there tonight, Zach.
I would think after the rain we've had the last couple of days, looking at my backyard anyway, I know my backyard's soaked.
Well, the Pioneers take over 1st and 10 and ball at their own 34-yard line. 2 minutes, 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ox, he completes a pass. Nice pass. Kurt Singer, and it looks like also number 28, Noah Hunter on the tackle, and Watson on the reception.
And looks like they're going to take a measure.
They're probably going to measure. He's close.
I think he's got the first down. There's a good, strong throw from Ox. Watson made a nice snag, and you know, we talked about this earlier. This is you know, if Prairie Grove has an Achilles heel, it can be their pass defense, and you know, you'd like to see a nice pass rush and get up in Ox's face and cause some turnovers, some interceptions. I got a feeling we're going to see Mr. Halbert or Mr. Elkins get one of these sooner or later. Well, they gave him the first down.
1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Ball at their own 44-yard line. Ox out of the shotgun, and he's going to roll to his right. He's buying a little time with the rolling, and he's got a man wide open.
I'll tell you what, Jacob Call unloaded on Ox.
Jordan Cousins was by himself, overthrown, and that was the pressure from Call. And I was looking to see if he was going to get the reception, and you said you saw Jacob Call just take a nice shot on Ox there.
You know, it's a good call by the Gentry coaching staff. They're getting pressure up the middle. Prairie Grove's getting with the blitz up the middle, and they're rolling the pocket, moving them away from Jacob and Dalton coming up the middle. So if you're going to buy Ox some time, that's how you do it. You move them to the outside.
Well, pass falls incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Pioneers. They've got 3 out here. Prairie Grove's only got 2. Well, now that Elkins will move over and run there by the Pioneers. Gets up close to the midfield stripe. Kurt Singer, and looks like that was Call on the tackle. Landon West also helping out there. He picks up close to 5 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Pioneers. I'm really having a hard time seeing the Gentry numbers. It's just the
numbers are in black.
They're in black on maroon jerseys are a little hard to see, and I did not see who the ball carrier was that time.
Tanner Coy, 26.
Number 26, Tanner Coy on the reception. Looks like they bring Ox out wide, and there is Jacob Call on the tackle.
It's Coy again.
McCoy on the carry. Noah Hunter also in there helping out Call to pull him back away. It's going to be 4th down and about 4. Ball at the 49-yard line of Prairie Grove. So for the first time tonight, the Pioneers are in Tiger territory.
I think you're rolling the dice awfully early.
Well, you're sitting at 1-7, and you're playing a team tied for the conference lead. Why not?
Well, they haven't stopped Prairie Grove yet.
Now it looks like they're going to go back in.
They're going to punt it.
They're going to punt the ball. Fading back is number 22, Jared Cousins. Colby Rankin is the up back there, and good punt there. He's going to punt away from Dalton Falk. The ball's going to go out of bounds inside the 20. Well, looks like it's going to be right at the 20-yard line, so that's where the Tigers will take over. 1st down and 10. 29 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tigers lead 14-0. See, that's a real business-like feel to it, doesn't it?
It really does. It doesn't have that high energy to it. It feels like a business trip. And Gentry's. They've made a couple of plays here. They've had some guys open. They had a young man that was streaking open, just missed him by a little bit. And, I'm sure we'll see that play again at some point.
Tigers with their full backfield. There's Bartholomew. He's looking for a hole. He breaks tackle. Oh, he's out in the open. And Weston Bartholomew, 26-yard run out to about the 46-yard line.
I just wonder if he didn't have an ankle or a knee, because he is all of a sudden just exploding again.
Looks like number 8, Leo Martin, on the tackle. They're going to mark at the 47. That's a 27-yard run there, Zach. Nice. He got hit there at the line of scrimmage. He was bouncing, looking for a hole, got out, and picks up good yardage. And Prairie Grove is on the march again with 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And I'm not sure Prairie Grove will get a playoff unless they snap it quick. 3, 2, 1, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, our score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 14, the Gentry Pioneers 0.
Whether in sports or banking, competition is healthy for a community. If you consider all the choices you have in banking today, the Bank of Fayetteville stands out. The founders of the Bank of Fayetteville realize the importance of giving back to the community, not only for the Tigers on the field tonight, but for the future Tigers to come. The Bank of Fayetteville believes that the folks of Prairie Grove have great potential, and they had that one goal in mind to help you reach that potential. You see, with this thought process in mind, the community wins. The Bank of Fayetteville, banking on your potential. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Well, we come back to the game, and we begin the second quarter. Prairie Grove leading 14-0, and I have been slacking on our scoreboard here, Zach, so I need to update that.
And we'll give you a couple of demerits for that. A couple of numbers we can talk about here in the first quarter. Prairie Grove ran 14 plays in the first quarter, 108 yards. That's 7-7 a clip. Right now, Gentry's run 10 plays for 7 yards. That's pretty darn good. That defense that we talked about is definitely living up to its advanced billing.
Tigers leading, and that's
Logan
Bartholomew. Logan breaks loose. Logan's inside the 40, down to about the 39-yard line. Logan Bartholomew, he is a sophomore, and he's been hurt throughout the year.
Yep. Had a back problem early in the year, and that comes from my son, the medic. Logan's had a bit of a back problem, and I'll tell you what, before the end of the year, Logan's going to break one of these.
And he has got some speed. For those who are watching us and maybe not having the World Series on in the background, it's in the bottom of the first, and it's 2-2, so that's going to be an explosive game. They just started where they left off last night, Zach. 1st and 10 for Prairie Grove, ball at the 39. There is Daniel Schrock, and he breaks loose. Schrock. Daniel Schrock inside the 20, finally brought down by number 2, Nelson Watson.
Kind of feel bad for Mr. Watson. If you see Schrock coming, it's kind of bug meat windshield. Schrock's just going to run you over.
Daniel Schrock, how many carries? He's got 4 carries, 5 carries for 42 yards.
Five for 42
Bartholomew,
right now. 4
for 43.
Yep.
So that's a 1-2 punch tonight. And then you've got
thunder and lightning combo that's churning up yards right now.
Cooper's only attempted 2 passes, one of 2 for 18, which was a touchdown. So very effective night tonight for the Tigers in the eye this time. And there's a pitch to Bartholomew over the right side. Bartholomew, he's going to pick up maybe 4 yards to the 15-yard line. Actually picked up a 5. Be second down and 5 for the Tigers. Now they're at the part of the field, Zach, that I cannot see much of anything from this angle. So I'm going to watch the screen here and kind of
putting the pressure on Henry, are you?
Yeah, Henry, you're going to have to do a good job there with the camera. 1st and 10, ball at or 2nd and 5, ball at the 15-yard line. Winters hands it to Schrock. He's met there by several of the Pioneers. He's going to get down maybe to the 13-yard line.
Bring up a 3rd and manageable here. Do you put it up? Maybe spread them out to Cooper on the quarterback draw.
3rd down and 3 for the Tigers.
Just a note: 2 out of 2 on 3rd down.
I was just looking over there, and if we don't get the 3rd, we'll get 4th. Then
hey,
I'm sure we'll go for 4 and 4th here. Okay. There's Schrock again. He's going to be close to the 1st down at the 10-yard line, and I think if he got to the 10, he got the 1st. Coy on the tackle.
Yep, 1st down.
Martin also on the tackle. So 1st and goal for the Tigers. Ball right at the 10-yard line. If anybody out there, if you got an update on the Shiloh Ozark game, it'd be nice to hear that. Also, don't forget to go to the comment page on pgtigersonline.com. Let us know where you're listening from tonight. There is
nice
Bartholomew. Block. He's going to be knocked out of bounds right about the 1-yard line. 9-yard pickup.
He got a great block from Luke Johnson. Like to recognize the pulling guards. He came out, sealed the side, and once you get Weston on the corner, then anything can happen.
Nick Perez tells us there is a baby Schrock. Zach Schrock. The Schrock legs is somehow, even if it's a cousin. A Matthew. Boy, we got a big response out of that.
We got an entire team coming through.
Mitch Whitehouse updating us also on the baseball game. Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate that. 2nd goal from the one for the Tigers. And there is Cooper Winters right up on the keeper. Give him 6. And the Tigers have stretched the lead to 20-0, Zach.
Efficient. Very, very efficient. 21 plays, 161 yards, and now 20 points on the board. That's I think that's what we expected to see here the last 2 weeks. And looks like they may be getting themselves or rounding themselves into playoff shape because, let's face it, next week is going to be a huge game.
Well, we talked about at the onset that these seniors have never beaten Gentry. Gentry's won 3 in a row, and Prairie Grove 11 out of the last 15. But
we've still got 33 minutes of football left, and as we've seen, anything can happen. But right now, they look really, really good.
Very sharp, both offensively and defensively. There's movement over there. I think that's Dalton Falk was moving prior to the snap.
I think they had a fake on. Dalton took off like he was running a pass pattern. That looked like a fake.
Matthew, the train corp, Schrock cousin.
Apparently there's a lot of Schrocks in the pipeline. It's good to know.
Zach, Court, Daniel, and just really appreciate everyone out there tonight. Zach, you started something. So it looks like the extra point now will be kicked from about the 15-yard line. Give Landon a little chance to test his leg. And that's going to be no good. That's going to be off to the left. And so with 9 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first half, it's Prairie Grove 20, Gentry 0.
So you're having a fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and having a fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and flavorable. By the way, that's a brand spanking new word. Well, think Ozark's Delight Lollipops. It's unique, it's fun, and it's highly successful, and a great way to raise some funds and have some fun doing it. Did I mention that it's flavorable? Check out the website, ozarkdelight.com, or call them at 1-800-334-8991. Ozark Delights, America's #1 fundraising lollipop, says, Go Tigers!
Well, the Tigers have scored every time they've had the football. They've had it 3 times, and now kicking off for the 4th time as we kicked off to start the game. So Landon Allen kicking off for the 4th time. And
exchanging text messages with a friend of mine who's in El Paso looking for updates on the score, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what he said, but he's excited. He likes the 20-0 score.
There's a good kick. It's going to go all the way. He touched it. He's going to field it at the 1-yard line and hit. Oh, but he spins away.
We had problems with this last week. It's a great return.
Coy, that was Tanner Coy, and he fielded that at the 1. He gets it out over the 35 to about the 36. He was hit by Noah Hunter and kind of spun out of the tackle there. And
credit, that's a heck of a return. And Prairie Grove's had problems. We saw last week 2 long returns.
Right at the end of the game last week, and
36-yard return.
Well, the Pioneers take over 1st and 10, the ball at their own 38-yard line. Ox is back. He's going to look. He throws quickly, and
we're going to say it's an interception.
He got the interception. That is number 86, Christian Denton. He picks it off at the 47-yard line, and now the Tigers are in business again in Pioneer territory. You know, the ball was thrown there. Christian had his eye on it the entire time and followed it and hauled it in. It was real close there, but he gets the interception, and Tigers are in Gentry territory at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10, and Coach Sapster in the game and looked like they may be going. That's Landon. Oh, Landon West in and out of the hands.
I got to tell you, Cooper looks sharp, really sharp tonight. The ball is coming out of his hands with good velocity. He's put everything right on the money. He looks really good tonight.
Well, the 2 passes that have been missed tonight have hit the hands of the receiver. One Murphy across the middle, and that one with Landon. 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. Winters overlooks the defense there, and now he's back to pass again. Looks like he bobbled the ball there a little bit. He's going to take off and run. He's got a lot of running room, and nice, smart play by Cooper Winters. He takes the slide, and that's a heads-up play. And
yep, get down, live to fight another day. But he just continues to impress me. And note to the 1-4A, he's back next year.
When you start as a sophomore, and he did that last year, you learn a lot. It was a learning year for him, and learned a lot from the guys that he played. They had a lot of adversity last year, but they worked through it, and it helps them this year. It helps them a lot. 3rd down and about 2, and there's Bartholomew. He's got the first inside the 35, down to about the 34, 33-yard line. And
sure, there's some schools around the 1-4A right now thinking he's Tim Tebow. He's been around forever. He just won't go away.
Prairie Grove 1st and 10, ball at the Gentry 33, and the Tigers have looked sharp defensively, offense tonight.
Coming up on 200 yards here in the first half, and we're not even halfway through the
second quarter. 7 minutes 35 seconds. The Tigers leading 20-0, and in motion is Landon West. He's deep in motion. There's a pitch to Landon as he gets past the first. Oh, he slips, and they're going to get, I believe,
they're going to get Luke for holding.
Yeah.
It's a new wrinkle, that circle motion. Usually Landon comes straight across the formation. Now they're running him back behind the
He was deep. He was deep. You typically like about a 4-yard relationship with your pitch man. He looked like he may have been 6 or 7 yards behind.
We're going to have to talk to Nathan. He's just not shifty. We'll pin that one on Nathan.
They're going to step that off against the Tigers. I would think they would take the penalty, and it's actually going to be about a 12-yard loss because the hold, the spot penalty, the hold took place at about the 35-yard line. So actually called an illegal block in the back. So
they'll march them back quite a ways. Never like those illegal blocks.
they move it back to the 46-yard line. So that's going to be a first down now and 23 to go for the Tigers.
First penalty tonight, quarter and a half in, first penalty for Prairie Grove. Second, excuse me, you're right.
Tigers have 4 wide this time, and looks like Gentry's coming, and Cooper's got plenty of room to run, but he also gets the ball away. Great catch! Give him 6! Dalton! Oh, that's Christian Denton. Oh!
How in the world did he go down with that?
What a catch! Oh!
We're going to get a illegal forward pass. Wow.
Wow. What a catch. Looks like the flag's down. They're going to call him past the line of scrimmage.
That's a big one. That's 15 yards and a loss of down.
What a play there by Christian Denton. After the interception, he comes back and makes a heck of a catch.
And just as we talk about lack of penalties, here they come.
Well, now it's going to be at the 5-yard loss. There's going to be second down and about 20. Boy, that's 27, 28 yards to go. And now there's totally empty backfield with Winters back. He rolls to his right. Nice pitch
play.
And catch there. You're right. He has got zip on that ball tonight. He completes that to Weston, and he gets he gets down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Might be the longest pass play of the year, and we're still not in the.
And there's now a hold.
Wow. Is there a record for the longest second end?
This is going to be, wow, let's see. They're going to move this back to. Where's he going to move it to?
To the 37.
37, so that's 10, 20, 30. It's about second and about 37 yards to go.
It's 3 straight penalties.
In motion is Schrock, and he's got 4 over here, and now pressure. There's Bartholomew, a catch to about the 48-yard line of Gentry. Brings up third down, and this will be one heck of a third down conversion here, Zach. 6 minutes, 16 seconds to go. Tigers lead 20-0. They have the ball, third down and about 28 to go, and rolling to his left and throwing deep. He's got Christian Denton again, and another haul in, and he got the first down.
I don't believe it.
Christian Denton is, wow. That is really 2 great catches. One doesn't go in the books.
One doesn't count, but we can appreciate it anyway.
And now he got the interception. Great catch there. And
wow, Cooper took a shot on that one too.
He hung in there. And you're right. Cooper looks so good throwing the ball. And after taking that shot, I was hoping maybe we'd see a little bit of Schrock or Bartholomew here, but they're going 5 wide again, and In motion is
like that.
Oh, slip. That was Logan Bartholomew. He slips on the.
Yep, 20-yard line. Got it. He had a hole on that one. He got a good block from left tackle there, Spencer Galden. Man, he was the hole was there. Grass just wasn't.
So a loss of 3. It's 2nd down and 13 for Prairie Grove. There's Schrock up the middle, and Schrock is bullying his way down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers. Four minutes, 43 seconds to go here in the first half. Tigers have been very impressive tonight. Efficient, very, very impressive.
I think you're in 2-down territory here, the way things have been going. And as sharp as Cooper is, why not?
Bartholomew cuts back inside. He's going to be inside the 10. He's going to be short of the 1st down, so it's going to bring up 4th down and probably about 3 to go. And I think the way things have kind of gone in the kicking game tonight, I don't know if they blocked one and then we had the penalty, and so it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down and 3 for the Tigers.
I like Cooper on a run-pass option here. He's had good success running the ball, and
it could be exactly. You got the bootlegger exactly in there. He's going to the end zone.
Oh my gosh!
No, give him 6. Christian Denton has done an incredible job of catching the football tonight.
I think we may have an early nominee for your Steak and Shake Player of the Game.
The way he has caught the ball.
Looks like Jerry Rice tonight.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, and his best catch didn't count.
Yeah. You hate to get into, with 3:45 here to go in the first half, but, scoring margin matters now. When you get down into tiebreakers, and it does matter.
And there's Bartholomew. He's going to stretch it, and he does get the extra point, the 2-point conversion, and now the Tigers stretch it out 28-0, and with 3:45 to go, Prairie Grove has scored each time they've gotten the football, and like I said, with 3:45 to go, Prairie Grove leads 28, Gentry 0.
How do you tell someone that they're special?
Flowers and Friends.
How do you tell someone that they're loved?
Flowers and Friends.
How do you tell someone happy anniversary?
Flowers and Friends.
And how do you express your deepest sympathy?
Flowers and Friends.
In Prairie Grove, when your message needs to be expressed with flowers, be it fresh-cut flowers or one-of-a-kind silk arrangement, think Flowers and Friends or drive by 114 East Buchanan, or you can call them at 846-2137. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch.
Zach, what is the yardage tonight?
236 to 7.
Wow.
Prairie Grove right now sitting on 161 yards rushing, 75 passing. They've run 30 plays, 7.9 average. You're going to win a lot of football games doing that.
They're also out penalizing them as well.
Yeah. Well, those 3 were in a row, and gained it all back with the pass to Weston and then Christian, and it just looks like a completely different team than the ones that showed up the last 2 weeks.
Now the kick by Landon Allen, and this one's going to go. It's going to bounce, field around the 20-yard line, and again, poor tackling on the kickoff, and Rankin on the return, and the kicker, Landon Allen, made the tackle.
He's going to have to. This is something that's going to have to be worked on as you as going into next week. Gravit's a dangerous team.
Well, the World Series looks at the end of 2. It's 2-2. Remind you again, at the end of the game, we'll have the Steak and Shake Player. And coming up at halftime, we'll have the Prairie Grove Band. First down for the Pioneers. Gets the ball out to about the 35-yard line.
I know this is crazy, but we're 3:13 from halftime. That's Gentry's 12th offensive play. It's just it's been the performance that you'd hope to see the last couple of weeks.
Complete. That is complete to Nelson Watson, and he's going to be tackled by Denton and also Call on the tackle.
Second time they've come back to that play. Good strong throw from Ox, and something Prairie Grove's going to need to shut down because as long as it's working, you don't fix it till it ain't broke.
Listening from the Gentry press box, and Mitch Whitehouse, and then also my boy McKay has given an update on Shiloh and Ozark, 7-7.
Can we really trust him? He's a Texas fan.
McKay, thanks for letting us know, and also Mitch. Okay, there's the run there, and Tanner Coyle breaks through. He gets down inside the 30. He's brought down by Colby Elkins, and nice run there by Tanner Coyle.
28-yard run, and this is their longest play of the night. They've been real close to breaking a couple of those. They've just, the defensive line's just shut them down, and those things are going to happen. Eventually, something to work on for next week.
Well, Prairie Grove doesn't want to have a breakdown here just before the half with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go, and Gentry wants to get some points on the board, and they're looking to the end zone, and now sacked Kurtzinger, Sugg,
the entire defensive line.
And I believe that is Jared Murphy. Well, the defense got the defense players got our Steak and Shake Player of the Week last week, and they've looked really good tonight. I mean, they had a long run there just a second ago, but for the most part tonight, they have been fantastic.
And we're down to 1:40 to go in the first half.
It's second down, and let's call it 15 for the Pioneers. 1 minute, 32 seconds to go in the first half. And here comes another blitz, a little screen. Oh. It's intercepted. That's Jared Murphy, and there's nothing between him and the end zone. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, give him 6.
Well, I think if we had spun the wheel and said who's going to return an interception for a touchdown tonight, Jared would not have been on our list. just a hunch.
Well, again, the defense comes up. Now we just need to get this extra point down tonight. And
tell you what, he played that perfectly when Gentry went to run one of those rocket screens where the receiver comes across the middle and Jared stayed home. I mean, all of a sudden he took 2 steps. There's nobody in his way. Yep. He stayed home, and he stepped right in front of the receiver for a Prairie Grove touchdown.
A screen was the right call with that blitz on it. It just was played very well by Jared. Now the extra point, and it's good. And with 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the first half, Prairie Grove has stretched its lead to 35-0.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, "Go Tigers!" How do you tell someone that they're special?
Flowers and friends.
How do you tell someone that they're loved?
Flowers and friends.
How do you tell someone happy anniversary?
Flowers and friends.
And how do you express your deepest sympathy?
Flowers and friends.
In Prairie Grove, when your message needs to be expressed with flowers, be it fresh-cut flowers or one-of-a-kind silk arrangement, think Flowers and Friends or drive by 114 East Buchanan, or you can call them at 846-2137. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch.
Landon Allen preparing to kick now for the 6th time tonight. 1 minute, 14 seconds remaining, and Here comes the kick by Landon, and it's going to be a kind of a dribble kick inside. It's going to be fielded at around the third 25 and hit there by Denton, Hunter, and Logan Bartholomew. Jordan Cousins was the player for Gentry on the return, and with a minute and 9 seconds, Zach, 35-0, and if this ends here, we'll run the clock the entire second half. So
I think if you're Gentry here, you don't want to do anything crazy. Get out of here. Don't do any more damage. Prairie Grove gets the ball to start the second half.
Oh, they do get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, Prairie Grove gets it. Gentry went 3 and out on the first drive, and what can you say? 35 points in the first half. This is what we expect to see.
In the first half, this has been the most complete game.
Yeah.
I mean, at the first half, I shouldn't say complete game, been the most complete half I've seen Prairie Grove play all year. And there's again a blitz, and Coy on the carry. He's going to pick up a couple yards. Looks like Bartholomew was in there, or that was Schrock there helping out on the tackle.
And you wonder how long Coach Absher is going to let the starters play. When are we going to start to see some of the younger guys? I've already seen Logan Bartholomew play a little bit, and Nick Suggs been in there a little bit. But how long till we see mass substitutions?
Well, here comes Landon. He's chasing Landon West, who's looking, and there's a pass way overthrown, intended for number 7. A.J. Beach.
Receiver broke that one off, ran a comeback route. Ox thought he was going to take off and run the fly pattern.
Was that 7 or 1 there on the...
that was 7.
Okay, A.J. Beach then on the intended receiver. Halbert on the covers, and he was looking for another interception there. 28 seconds to go here in the first half. Prairie Grove 35, Gentry 0. Third and about 8 to go for the Pioneers, and here Kurtzinger missed him. He went after him hard. He ducked him, and looks like Landon West and Call make the tackle on number 26, Tanner Coy. And with 13 seconds, I imagine Gentry's going to let this clock run on out, and that's going to be the end of the first half. And after one half of play, Zach, that is the best half of Prairie Grove football I have seen in quite some time.
Yeah. It's been everything you hoped it would be. Every time they touched the ball, they scored.
Well, that's the end of the first half, and with our score, Prairie Grove 35, Gentry 0.
Building a championship caliber athletic program takes more than great coaching. It takes more than great student athletes. It takes great support from the community. You can show your Tiger pride in Building a championship caliber athletic program takes more than great coaching. It takes more than great student athletes. It takes great support from the community. You can show your Tiger pride and support all the sport teams here at Prairie Grove by joining the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Make your check of $25 payable to Building a championship caliber athletic program takes more than great Building a championship caliber athletic program takes more than great coaching. It takes PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office, for telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV. Think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress. Whether in sports or banking, competition is healthy for a community. If you consider all the choices you have in banking today, the Bank of Fayetteville stands out. The founders of the Bank of Fayetteville realize the importance of giving back to the community, not only for the Tigers on the field tonight, but for the future Tigers to come. The Bank of Fayetteville believes that the folks of Prairie Grove have great potential, and they have that one goal in mind to help you reach that potential. You see, with this thought process in mind, the community wins. The Bank of Fayetteville, banking on your potential. There's been a Davis at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His experience, he's going to throw that in for free. Keeping you healthy since 1918. Sterling Drug, 125 East Buchanan in Prairie Grove. Proud sponsors of Prairie Grove Athletics.
All right, we're back with you, and coming onto the field is the Prairie Grove Marching Band, and we're going to let you enjoy the band, and we'll do our best for you to be able to hear it. I think we'll try to stick our mics out there and see what we can capture that. Again, it's halftime here in Gentry, and Prairie Grove leads the Gentry Pioneers 35-0.
Drum majors Brianna Suggs and Haley Middlebrook. Is your band ready? You may take the field. The Midnight Special was an American musical variety show that aired on NBC during the 1970s. The Midnight Special was noted for featuring live musical performances. The band invites you to join us in our musical time machine, back to the Midnight Special. Ladies and gentlemen, Prairie Grove High School presents with Jump Down the Rabbit Hole as the band plays the Jefferson Airplane psychedelic thriller, White Rabbit. Ladies and gentlemen, senior trumpet soloist Tabitha Zito. Rocker Billy Preston played one of his big hits in the Midnight Special in 1973. The band screened his hit back by featuring senior vocalist Philip Shepard on keyboards, senior trombone soloist Hiram Erdman, and the percussion led by All-State percussionist John Van Zandt to a Neil Moss arrangement of Will It Go Round in Circles.
I got a song that ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friends. I got a song that ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friends. I wanna go round in circles. We fly high like a bird up in the sky. When they
begin tonight's performance with a haunting melody from the Moody Blues, featuring a trumpet duet by Will Pullman and Spencer Erdman. Here is Nights in White Satin. Trumpet soloist Brian Eubanks. The band is under the direction of Gary Nichols and Neil Moss, flag coordinators and Keisha Gregson. This has been a Music Without Mercy production. Thank you for your kind attention.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, "Go Tigers!" What does it take to win a President's Award from Ford Automotive? It takes hard work. It takes dedication, teamwork, a lot of the same ingredients that Coach Absher looks for in his Tiger football team. Well, at Lewis Ford, they won the President's Award because they delivered award-winning service before, during, and after each and every sale. That's the standard that's been set at all of the Lewis Automotive dealerships, be it Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Lewis Automotive, delivering award-winning service since 1947. Lewis Automotive says, "Go Tigers!"
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to go ahead and just let you enjoy the Gentry Band as well. We'll come back to you with stats and some other comments right after the Gentry Band. So here they are. Enjoy the Gentry Band.
You're supposed to go to step one. What is this? Gentry Dancing Marching Band.
The Bank of Fayetteville. It's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer. Checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service. The Bank of Fayetteville, with offices in Fayetteville, West Fork, Farmington, and Prairie Grove. Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite flavors, we're here to help. Click our website, ozarkdelight.com, or call us toll-free at 1-800-334-8991. PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. I want you to try and imagine all the progress that's been made in medicine since 1918. Now try and imagine the progress that's been made in the insurance business as well. Needless to say, the changes have been massive, but Sterling Drug in Prairie Grove has kept up with it all, and Gary Davis and his staff are ready to provide you with the latest and most effective drugs, and they're going to work with your insurance companies as well. While there have been massive changes.
Well, Zach, as the players start to warm up, we got about 3 minutes before we start. Just want to comment a little bit on the comment page before we go back to the field. And let's see, Pat Allen, I've been calling you're right, it is a squib kick. I think I just lost my words there. P. Ridge trailing Farmington 16-6. Landon Allen's grandmother from Florida watching. Always glad to have those folks out watching. And then Cardinals leading 3-2, and Dalton Kurtzinger's getting votes
for the Steak and Shake player of the game. Sure, he's played
well. Zach, let's take a look at the stats first half.
Well, I think one number jumps out at you if you look at the stat page. It's 236 yards for Prairie Grove in the first half, 49 for Gentry. 28 came on one play. Prairie Grove's run 30 plays to 19. You know, it's pretty one-sided at this point, as you know the score would indicate. It's 35-0. A couple of things for Prairie Grove to clean up would be the kickoff return or kickoff coverage, and the 3 penalties for 29 yards. Gentry to this point, no penalties. You know, they're playing a clean game there, but 2 turnovers. You know, you like to see 2 of 8 for the Gentry quarterbacks for 24 yards and 2 interceptions. That's you're getting it done defensively.
Well, one of the stats that stand out to me there is one that we've harped on all year long: is third down conversions. Prairie Grove's 5 for 6 tonight, and 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions. And that fourth down conversion was
it's about the best one we've had this year. Right? It's hard to argue with the way things have gone, but you know, as we talked about just before halftime, you're going to get a running clock here in the second half. I saw Jacob Storley warming up. It looks like we're going to get to see some of the younger guys play, and it's good for them. You'll get some game experience here at the varsity level, and you know, you're going to need those guys. Hopefully, you know, maybe later on this year into next year. But for Gentry, you don't want to see the heads down. You want to see them keep playing, maybe get some points on the board, and you know, build a little confidence for them going into next week. We need them to beat somebody next week.
Well, they will be playing. I believe they play Ozark next week. So
that would be nice, wouldn't it? That'd make things okay.
I think one of the gentlemen here from the Gentry press box group just gave us an update. It was 7-7, Shiloh and Ozark. That is really probably the game in the conference this week. Is do not have a score on the Gravette Berryville, but I mean,
I'd imagine that the Gravette's probably, well, you know what, the way they've played here the last couple of weeks, you just can't you can't count anything here in the 1-4A West. And you know, this week's a little bit of a breather for some teams with the one big game being Shiloh and Ozark. And I hate to say it, but come on, Shiloh.
I won't.
You won't say it, but you'll think it.
You know,
we absolutely need Shiloh to win that game because we've got a game in hand against them. We've beaten them, and Ozark beat us 13-10 there at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, Mitch Whitehouse just gave us an update at halftime, 7-7. That's Shiloh game, and then our faithfulest watcher Marianne is here with us again. Marianne, welcome as always.
I'm telling you, we've got to get her a fruit basket. She's been with us the entire year. Not even our wives watch that many games.
Well, like you said, we'll have a running clock to start the second half. Looks like Gentry's preparing to kick. Let's take a quick break, and I think we'll hold off. Looks like Prairie Grove's going to come on out, and we'll go ahead and start the second half.
Yep. Got some new returners back there. Looks like Christian Denton. Logan Bartholomew's going to drop back deep. Speed back deep.
I'd like to see Logan get a chance to.
He's going to bust one here. I think before the year's out, if you want a prediction, I think he's going to bust one before it's over.
Alec Nelson kicking for the Pioneers, fielded by Colby Elkins, and he's going straight to the middle of the field, and Elkins has got a little running room. He's looking for the outside. He's got it. He's at the 50. He's got one man to beat, and he's
still going
all the way down inside the Gentry 15 to the 13-yard line, and Colby comes up a little shaken up on the play, but what a heck of a return. He returned, I believe he fielded around the 20-yard line, and he takes it all the way down inside.
Certainly the way you'd like to start the second half, with a nice kickoff return, give your offense a short field, and looks like we're going to get to see a lot of different folks here in the third quarter.
I see Nick Sugg, a sophomore. I see Logan Bartholomew, a sophomore. I don't see who the quarterback is, but I imagine it's going to be Jacob Storley to start the second half. And Albert trots onto the field to bring in the play. And
yep, looks like the entire sophomore class is out there right now. See Connor West out there.
Jacob Storley, he hands the ball off, and that's going to be Nick Sugg right up the middle, down to about the 6 or 7 yard line. And boy, ranking in on the tackle for the Pioneers. And Zach, there you have looks like Prairie Grove. Looks like there's a couple of the regular starters on the line right now. I think I see Drew Sugg still out there, but Jacob Storley in at quarterback. He's going to hand it. Logan Bartholomew cuts back, and he's going to be close to the first down, which he needed to get to about the 3 yard line. And
looks like they're going to give it to him.
So the first down for Prairie Grove, and the ball is at about the 2 yard line. And Prairie Grove just picked up where they left off in the first half, even though they got a whole new unit in. And
well, this is important for the guys that haven't played a whole lot this season. Get some work, get some repetitions. You know, they don't get a whole lot of work during the week. They're running the scout team. The other teams plays. This is a chance to get in and do something with the offense against a real opponent.
And there is Nick Sugg. He's a tough runner. Second effort, he's going to give him 6. Nick Sugg gets into the end zone. And there it goes, as Nick Sugg, I believe that's his first touchdown of the year.
It is. Yeah, we're going to see all sorts of folks here in the third quarter. And it's stretched out to 41, and I think that touchdown set up by the great return by Colby Elkins. And Prairie Grove's been pretty explosive in the return game. Weston returned one against West Fork, and we've had a couple other long returns.
Landon Allen gets the extra point, and with 8 minutes and 48 seconds remaining, it's Prairie Grove 42 and Shiloh. And
Where's your head?
Gentry 0.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress. Built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean?
We're back with a running clock, 7 minutes, 48 seconds remaining. Prairie Grove 42-0, and
This is a chance for Prairie Grove to start to work on some things, sharpen some things up. If you've got some plays deep in the playbook that you want to work on a little bit, this is a chance to do it. Get some young guys some playing experience.
nice return again by the Pioneers, and I believe that's Coy again. And Pioneers are going to take over first down and 10. The ball at their own. They're going to spot at the 36.
Yeah, that's definitely an area that's going to need to get a little attention this week. Getting ready for Gravette is the kick coverage game.
And as good as Prairie Grove's looked here tonight, and they're going to come out here with a victory. The playoff thing is still in a lot of question marks. I mean, next week if you lose, you can be anywhere from winning next week from a 1 seed all the way down to a 4 seed.
It's crazy. I mean, but it's great. I mean, I love it. Every Sunday morning I get up, I read the paper, see who went where and who did what, and it's
Schrock,
just a lot of fun.
Kurtzinger, Sugg, and Call all in on the tackle. Now it looks like they got a lot of the defensive starters still in.
And Noah Hunter's out there. Christian Denton. Logan's playing at safety. Looks like Luke Johnson's come in at a defensive end spot.
Pick up of maybe 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 for the Pioneers. Ox is back to throw, and that is going to
nice
be
catch.
a reception. I think they're going to give the first down there to Cousins, and Bartholomew was in there battling for it. And, when they have it like that and they both tie it up there, they're going to give it to the offensive player.
Tie go to the receiver on that one? Is it like a baseball rule? It's a good throw from Ox. I mean, Ox can throw the ball. He just hasn't had a lot of time
He hasn't
tonight.
had time tonight. You're exactly right, Zach. Well, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Ball at the Prairie Grove 40. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Running clock, 42-0. The Tigers lead. The mercy rule in effect. Several Tigers in there on the tackle. You got Call and Kurtzinger, or Call, Sugg, and Luke Johnson in there. 2nd down 11 for the Pioneers. You're with the mercy rule in effect, Zach. It is, your attention from, the starters. They're over there starting to think, okay, next week is a big time, but you want to finish strong here with those younger players. And
nice pitch and
nice
catch.
Absolutely. That was number 9 on the reception, Tyler Morgan. Is that Denton? Denton just missed another interception, and
He's caught everything tonight.
he almost got him another one. Then, we can start. We'll start in the 4th quarter. Start debating our steak and shake player of the game, and Denton would definitely be a candidate. Cooper Winters would be a candidate the way he's thrown the ball around tonight. 3rd down and about 5, and here comes a pass, and it's complete. Ox pass to Rankin, and that's complete inside the 30, so that's going to be a first down for the Pioneers.
That's the play that Jared Murphy returned the interception for. This time the defensive line came through, and Ox made a nice throw right over the top.
Coming into the game, leaving the game, number 77 is Jacob Lacey. I think that was Spencer Galden then replacing him on the line, defensive line. Looks like Jacob Call may be the only starter that's still in. Daniel Schrock's also in there, it looks like. So there's Ox. He's looking to throw. He's going back against, and there's Denton. Morgan, the intended receiver, just could not quite hang on, and Denton was trying to time it there for a pick, but nice pass there by Ox.
You know, when Ox gets time, he can throw the ball. That ball was just a little bit outside, but I mean, he's got a good arm, and he looked the safety off one way, came back to Morgan down the sideline. His pass just a little bit off, but when he has had time, he's been able to step and throw and complete passes.
2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Prairie Grove leading 42-0, and this is the deepest that Gentry's been in the Prairie Grove territory this evening, and Ox is back to pass, and he's
screen.
Completes the screen to Coy. He gets down to about the 25-yard line. Luke Johnson in on the tackle. Also, number 41, Brandon Taylor, helping out. So, 3rd down and 5 for the Pioneers. 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Mercy rule is in effect, and we have a running clock. We'll remind you, next week we'll be coming to you from Gravette. 3rd down and 5, and here comes a blitz again, and
he had him.
He had him open there, and I don't know if he saw a call coming and wanted to get rid of it again, Zach. But that was probably his, in this drive, the first pass he's kind of thrown off the mark.
Yeah, he stepped into it as Jacob got a hold of him, but the receiver was open. Just a little bit high, a little bit wide.
Well, we're down to a minute to go here in the third quarter, and Prairie Grove still 42-0. Picked up a quick touchdown here in the beginning of the third quarter, and I don't know if he's going to get this play off. He's only got 3, 2, and he does get a quick pass, and it's complete, and
it's a nice adjustment there by Ox. He saw Denton playing off, made the side adjustment to his receiver, quick stop route, first down Gentry.
He gets the first down. Nice pass and catch there, and it's a first down for the Pioneers, and they're in the red zone for the first time this evening. Most coaches and people don't believe in moral victories, but it would be a nice moral victory to have a drive, and especially
something to build on for next week. We need them to beat Ozark next week.
There's Ox. He's looking over to his right. He's got a man open, overthrows it. It's going to be intercepted, and I can't see who
Christian Denton.
Christian Denton with his second interception of this evening. And you know what that's going to do for his candidacy for our Steak and Shake Player of the Game.
No, tell me what that's going to do.
That's the end of the third quarter. Our score, Prairie Grove 42, Gentry 0.
Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite flavors, we're here to help. Click our website, ozarkdelight.com, or call us toll-free at 1-800-334-8991. Ozark Delight.
Well, we're back to start the fourth quarter, and we'll have a running clock here, and we got about 12 more minutes of football tonight. And let me check the feedback page. Anybody's got a score on the Cardinal game, that would be a nice update for the World Series. So
Still 3-2.
see if we got any more comments. This is one of those games people might start fading out by now unless. Yep, no one else since Mary Ann with any comments. So Prairie Grove will start the fourth quarter with a 1st and 10 for Gentry at the Prairie Grove. No, I'm sorry, it was the interception. That's Logan Bartholomew. No gain on the play. If anyone wonders why I couldn't see there is a the way the press box is here. They are right in the.
There's a large pole right in the way. But, you and I were talking during the break between quarters here. Prairie Grove didn't give up 100 yards last week total offense. There's Gentry right now sitting on 95. I don't know when the last time Prairie Grove gave up less than 100 in back-to-back weeks.
Well, there's a rush up the middle there. I believe that was Sugg on the carry, and he picked up maybe 2 yards, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8. And with literally 11 minutes of football left, Zach, the Tigers will go into the final game 7-2. Best year we've had in a few years.
Yeah, we talked about it right after the Shiloh win. Take care of your business during these 3 weeks. Get to the grab-it game and roll the dice that week. But next week it's for all the marbles. I mean, we're going to have a championship game, a de facto conference championship game.
Bartholomew's hitting the backfield, and he's going to be dropped there, and I can't tell the. Cousins, that was Jordan Cousins on the tackle, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So here comes the punting unit for the Tigers. The first punt of the game, Zach, for the Tigers.
That's always a good sign when you're punting for the first time in the fourth quarter. And I'd like to see Cooper keep his average up. He's averaging about 42 yards a kick on the year, and I'd like to see him really get into one here because he'd like to flip the field.
Well, we have 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Nice high kick, and it looked like a fair catch was called. Fair catch called there by Ox, and so the Pioneers will take over at the Prairie Grove 46-yard line.
Just a 31-yard punt for Cooper. His legs must be tired from running.
Well, he's been sitting over there for a while. Comes into the game a little cold. He usually plays a lot offensively, and he plays some defensively, so not used to sitting over there before he gets to punt like that.
It's time to start your nominees. We only got 9 minutes left here for your Steak and Shake Player of the Game. I know where you're leaning already.
Let's watch this play here, and they're still coming after Ox, and Ox gets a nice pass. He's got a man open. It's complete, and he drops it. They're going to call that incomplete. That was number 22, Jared Cousins.
Nick Sugg right there on the coverage, step for step with him.
Well, I would say, right now Christian Denton with some excellent catches in the big drop.
The catch that didn't count.
Well, he had the catch that didn't count. He had the catch that did was a great catch. He had the catch that, picked up the big first down, and then he also had 2 interceptions. One was a remarkable interception, and so.
I think 2 interceptions, touchdown reception. That's probably where I would lean.
Oh. Unfortunately, Ox saw some running room, and then he saw somebody open, so he stopped just there before he got to the line of scrimmage and slipped. Falls down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 13, and we're down to 8 minutes to go in the game. And we're going to go ahead and just name Christian Denton our Steak and Shake Player of the Game. And the only other person that, there's a lot of people who played an excellent game, but Christian did a couple special things.
Yeah, he had a good night. 2 interceptions. The touchdown that did count, which was a great catch, which we were arguing off the air whether or not that was a better catch than the one that didn't count.
3rd down, 13 for the Pioneers, and under attack there, and he's going to be sacked. That's number 75 for the Tigers, Blaine Merriman.
Hey, Blaine.
That may be the first time I've called Blaine's name since we had the black and gold game, so Nice tackle there by Blaine, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Nice sack there.
Nice third baseman on my son's Little League team.
Well, it's 4th and probably about 20 to go here for the Pioneers. Looks like they're going to punt. And none of the regulars back there, so they're probably just going to let the punt drop. And I think I can hear Coach Absher from over here. Punt, and Logan's going to let it drop, and it's going to roll.
Get away from it.
Nice roll there on the punt. It's going to be down at about the Prairie Grove 5. So 6 minutes, 55 seconds remaining, and Tigers lead 42-0.
Even with the 2-yard punt they had in the first half, Gentry's punted the ball very well. 31.3 yard average on 4 kicks.
You take away the 2-yard net one, and they probably really have had a
nice night.
And their punts have bounced and just gone. I mean, just taken off. Been a lot of a lot of slips on the field tonight. Looks like Bartholomew again on the carry, and Logan Bartholomew.
I still think he's going to bust one before the season's over, and we're all going to say, "Wow."
Hudson on the tackle for the Pioneers, and we're down to 6 minutes to go in the game. You know, this group looks good out there as they've moved the ball, and there's Sugg. He's going to pound his way. You know, he's kind of probably the next moose that we have. I mean, he
until
runs the ball.
Baby Schrock gets into the pipeline. Yeah, Nick would be the next moose.
And it's going to bring up 3rd down and short for the Tigers. 3rd and probably about a yard. You know, I'm sitting here. I think with the running clock, it's about 45 seconds to a minute per play by the time they get the ball spot and start the second clock. So just a few more plays here, Zach. And there's a pitch, and it's Bartholomew. There's the break you've been talking about. Oh, almost that break. Over the 20 to about the 22-yard line. 1st down for the Tigers, and 5 minutes remaining here in our football game. We'll remind you, at the end of the game, what we will do is we'll take a quick commercial break and make sure get our stats all tallied, and come back. We'll go through the stats. We've announced our Steak and Shake player of the game, who's Christian Denton. Not so much the stats as just some great plays that he made tonight. And
nobody really jumps off the stat sheet at you. It was just kind of a complete team effort. And
fumble on the play, and it's going to be recovered there by the
Gentry's got it.
Pioneers are going to have the ball at about the Prairie Grove 22-yard line. Gentry has the ball at the Prairie Grove 21-yard line.
New quarterback in the game.
New quarterback, that's number 6, I believe. Clay Norman's the new quarterback. Number 5, Tucker Willett, is in now at quarterback. Second down and 10 for Pioneers, and Beach on the carry. He's met there by Merriman again on the tackle. Merriman and also number 63, Jack Reynolds.
Good three-point shooter. You've seen him shoot. Jack's got a nice stroke. We'll see him during basketball season.
Basketball's coming up, and we'll be announcing that on pgtigersonline.com, our basketball webcast schedule here in the next probably the next week or two. And 3rd down, and there's a keeper, and he is going to be caught there by Logan just before he got there to the end zone. Willits. Well, that run, that put Gentry over the 100-yard total offense tonight. And
well, this would be nice to see the defense stand up here. You know, get the sudden change in momentum. Gentry takes over on your 22-yard line. You know, it'd be nice to hold them out here, preserve the shutout again. And when it comes down to it, if there's a 5-way tie, one of the tiebreakers is point differential.
Well, it's 42-0. We are under 2 minutes. We're about the 1-yard line. That's a tall order to have them stop here. And timeout.
Timeout.
So the clock is stopped for the first time here in the second half, Zach, with 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining.
Next week's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. You know, I haven't heard a score on the Gravette game, but it'll be. I'm sure that Gravette will, you know, should get through. They're playing Berryville tonight, but next week, you win and you're in. I mean, that's essentially what it comes down to. You win, you're hosting a playoff game for sure. And there, you know, it doesn't really matter, you know, where you're seated, but you are certainly hosting a playoff game. You know, somebody has to come up from down south to come play us.
Well, if anyone's out there and is still watching, if you could give us an update on the Shiloh score, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to take a look to see if we've gotten anything on the comment page. Shiloh scores. It's 13-7. Nick, that's from Mitch Whitehouse. Nick Perez gives us a 3-2 cards on the top of the fifth. So first and goal for Pioneers, ball at the 3.
And he's in.
And the Pioneers pick up a touchdown. It's 42-6, and nice for the Pioneers to get in there before the end of the game. And
yeah, you hate to give up a touchdown if you're Prairie Grove, but you know, good for Gentry. They kept fighting, and you like to see that.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you definitely want to see, because you know Prairie Grove played almost a flawless game, you know, with the starters tonight, and when you have that happen to you, and to be able to stay in there and hang in there and get something out of it before the night's over. There's the extra point, and that's going to go in.
You wanted to call it no good.
It's
I have to get you checked for vertigo or something.
Hey, I've called them all right tonight, haven't I? 42-7. And by the time I can probably even change the score here, we're going to be time going out.
Yeah, we give Prairie Grove some credit here. The second half, you know, they came out, they continue to play. You know, they came out sharp tonight, which was something we hadn't seen the last couple of weeks, and they you know, they certainly put together, you know, as you said, a flawless game, you know, minus a couple of mishandlings of the football, penalties here and there, but you know that you want them to look like this before they head into next week in a big game at Gravette.
Well, that'll be the last play of the game. That's our final score. This final score: Prairie Grove 42, Gentry 0. We'll be back with you to talk about the stats and next week's game right after this.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what?
All right. Well, Zach, we'll be quick here. Let's go through some stats real quick on the game tonight.
I think the number that jumps out is the 109 yards that the defense gave up, 7 points. That's certainly right around their average for most of their games during conference play. You know, one turnover is the fumble here in the second half, which led to the Gentry touchdown. But all in all, I mean, you're looking at a clean game, a well-played game. They came out with an edge. They played very, very well. They scored 5 times in the first half, and you really can't ask for much more than that.
No, and Bartholomew ended up with 67 yards on 8 carries. Schrock, 8 carries for 53. And then Cooper Winters, 4 carries, 23 yards on a passing night. He was it seems like he passed lightly, but he was 4 for 6, 75 yards, total of 185 for rushing for Prairie Grove, 260. And
big number was 6 out of 8 on third downs. They took care of the ball, did what they were supposed to do, and now we got the game we wanted, which was grab it next week at with rings on the line, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, we'll come to you next week from Gravette. I'm Lynn Gregson. This is Zach Arns. Thank you for watching Prairie Grove Tiger football.
This has been a presentation of Prairie Grove Tiger football. The broadcast of tonight's game was made possible through PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Ozark Delight, America's #1 fundraising lollipop. Lewis Automotive, serving all of Northwest Arkansas since 1947. The Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. Sterling Drug, serving Prairie Grove since 1918. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, shakes, malts, and more, just south of the Northwest Arkansas Mall. J&B Auto, Prairie Grove's bumper-to-bumper parts store. And Frederick's One Stop, the one stop for all your needs when you're on the go. Also contributing to tonight's broadcast was the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Showing your Tiger pride is just a membership away. Click on PGTigersOnline.com and follow the links. And on the behalf of the administration and the East Lab of Prairie Grove High School, and on the behalf of our broadcast team, Lynn Gregson, Zach Arns, and Steve Halbert, we want to thank you for watching Prairie Grove Tiger football. It's great to be a Prairie Grove Tiger.